Hi, I'm Maddie and I'm from Callaghan College Jesmond and I'm here at the Newcastle Art Gallery with
Meg Salter from St Francis Xavier.
What was it that actually inspired you?
I'd have to say my artwork from the previous year, because I didn't really feel like I needed to do painting. I just thought it was easier to do sculpture because it wasn't as permanent, like as painting or anything like that, so probably that.
Was there any actually artists that inspired you?
I'd have to say there's two artists, driftwood artists, Matt Torrens and Heather Janch. Heather does driftwood horses on beaches.
Why did you choose to work in this medium?
I originally chose to work with metal and I was going to use malleable metal, but it became too hard to, because I was going to do a bird, it became too hard to make the wings stay out right, so I changed it to driftwood. I was walking on the beach at my nan and pop's house and saw piles of driftwood on the ground, so just started collecting it and went from there.
What steps and processes did you take to achieve the end result?
Well, there was a lot of planning, planning what materials to use, planning how I was going to stick the wood together and like what steps I had to go through with that. It took a lot of time for the liquid nails to dry, so I had to like bandage it up and put string around it and leave it overnight, and that obviously took a lot of time.
Did you have any moments of doubt?
There was a lot of moments of doubt when it didn't dry properly or pieces fell off, and I just got frustrated. Sometimes I gave up and went back to it a week later or the next day. Yeah, so there was a lot of them.
And how did you overcome that?
I was pretty persistent. Like, if it was frustrating me and I wasn't doing very well, then I'd just give up for that night and go do something else, maybe other schoolwork or reading or something like that. But yeah, I always came back to it in the end.
What did you spend more time on, your art diary or your actual artwork?
In the beginning of Year 12, I spent a lot of time figuring out ideas and concepts and putting them down in my diary, but in the end, the majority of the time was spent on the actual artwork itself. It just became easier to fill in bits of your diary as you went along.
Were you happy with your final result?
I was pretty happy. It was different to what I originally thought it would turn out to be, and like everybody has the critic in themselves that they don't really think the artwork's as good as it should be or anything like that, but I was pretty proud of it in the end because it took a lot of time and effort.
Were you influenced by viewing previous Artexpress artworks?
Yeah, I'd have to say that I was. I've been to a few of the other Artexpress exhibitions, well, mostly held here, with my cousins and my sisters, and it was always something that we liked having a look at to see what was up for show. I can't really name a specific one, but more like how their artwork turned out and then how they express their ideas through their work.
What does it mean to you to be included in Artexpress?
I feel pretty privileged because I've always looked up to like artists and people that do well enough to get into Artexpress. So it's a really good accomplishment for me, sort of like signifying the end of my Year 12. But yeah, I was really ecstatic.
Do you have any advice for future Year 12 students doing their major work?
Yep, I would say stick to it. Even if it gets frustrating and it takes a lot of time and you want to throw it all in the bin sometimes, I would say definitely stick to it. Keep trying and don't leave it to the last minute because it can get pretty stressful, but have fun with it. Like, it's awesome being able to exhibit at your school and like just show everyone your ideas.
On behalf of the Newcastle Art Gallery and Callaghan College Jesmond, we'd like to thank you all for your time today.
Thanks.
Thank you.